Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another episode of Prop Party. That's right, it's Thursday, so we are talking alts. We're talking anytime touchdowns. We're talking parlays for week 7, and we'll do it in just 1 minute. That's right. Welcome back to another episode of Prop Party. Every Thursday, I sit down with Steve and Tyler, and we find our favorite alts and anytime touchdowns and parlays for the week. We also talk a little Thursday night football. We go through the game, first touchdowns, and build a same game parlay. And last week, we hit the 8-1 Thursday Night Football same game parlay. So we're looking to run it back this week. Before we get started, as you're joining us, be sure to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the Fanspeak Network. Notifications on, all the good stuff. We have shows Monday through Friday, covering every which way. You know, we got an Underdog Dailies show. Justin and Andrew will be on tonight. We got sports betting shows basically all week long. We'll be back on tomorrow with Wagers with Friends. So again, we've got you covered every single weekday, so be sure that you are subscribed to the Fanspeak Network. Let me say hi to the guys before we, of course, jump in to find those Week 7 winners. Steve, how are you doing, and what are you thinking about Week 7?
Yeah, doing well. Like you said, we hit the Thursday parlay last week. Definitely looking to run it back in this very interesting game this week. But, we had I think a good week overall last week, and I'm looking forward to another one this week. The Thursday game, the London game on Sunday morning, and then a couple interesting games I think we'll all be targeting throughout the kind of main slate on Sunday as well. So.
Yeah, and then we got Sunday night. Yeah, and then we got Sunday night. Devontae rejoining Rodgers. Obviously, Monday night we've got 2 games Monday, so we've got plenty to cover. A lot of fun stuff with the trades. Amari Cooper going to the Bills. Devontae Adams going to the Jets. That just makes football better for us. Nobody wants to see Devontae and the Raiders. Nobody wants to see Amari Cooper with terrible Deshaun Watson. So these are all good things. Tyler, I'm sure you're enjoying those things as well. And what are you thinking about for Week 7?
Yeah, week 6 was very fun. I mean, we hit the Thursday parlay. We hit a couple parlays on Sunday. You guys hit the big one in the Washington game.
That was awesome.
Did their job getting that -3 home for us. We never had to worry about that. So it was fun. I think week 7 we'll be able to keep the momentum rolling.
I like it. It's said perfectly, Tyler. As you know, Tyler and Spread, their picks are free up on fanspeak.com. Go to fanspeak.com betting card. They were obviously winners again last week, so be sure to check them out. And I haven't tweeted it yet, but their week 7 bets are up. Their free picks, sides, totals, and everything are up on the NFL betting card on fanspeak.com. As you can see on the scroll, Dub Club is free for a week, free trial for a week. Check it out. Basically, it's kind of an aggregate of these props and anytime touchdowns that we talk about. We do some fun parlays. And then we've got Friday day, the bets that are from best bets from the Friday shows, Wager with Friends and Andrew and Justin's show. And then again, we try to incorporate same game parlays for like the big games. Last week we hit the Washington, Baltimore same game parlay that we put in there. We usually do like a London one. We cover all the primetime slots. So we send out a Dub Club for every NFL game day. And then, of course, on Saturday, we send out, again, the alts, the anytime touchdowns, the parlays, the best bets from the Friday shows. So you get a lot from a lot of different cappers, which is nice. And everything is tracked. We're up over 10 units on our individual bets. We've hit now 7 different parlays ranging anywhere from 2-1 to, as the other day, 34-1. Here on the show, we hit an 8-1. So we're winning here. Be sure to follow us. I will post the Thursday parlay on Twitter, our show parlay after we do it here on Twitter and on Dub Club. But again, check out Dub Club. It's free. If you don't like it, you can cancel. And after that, it's just $19.99 a month. Whew. Can't talk here. Okay, guys, say hi. Guys in chat, always appreciate seeing Tim, Broncos country. Let's ride. So, yeah, we got Broncos, Saints tonight. And then we got our guy Jamie ready for a prop party. Always good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. So, all right, guys, it's time. We like Tyler said, we had a great week 6. Let's turn the page, figure out how to have a great week 7. I think this is another situation where there are games that stand out to really target. So I'm sure that'll be a theme. But Steve, I'll go to you first. What alts are you really looking at for week 7?
So the first alt I'm going to go to probably one that I think you would take.
Jefferson?
No, I mean, that's on my short list, but Tony Pollard rushing.
Like it.
Buffalo Bills cannot stop the run.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah. It's that simple. And Tennessee Titans cannot throw the ball. So Tony Pollard is going to get a lot of carries. Spears is banged up. Not sure the latest injury report on him, but Tony Pollard is the lead back in this backfield to begin with. And he's an explosive back. We saw it going back to his Dallas days. Last year, he was a little off coming off the injury, but this year he's got more of that juice. So I alt him up. Let's see. I just had it up, but on DraftKings, I'm looking 70 yards can get you plus 115, 80 plus 185. You can even go up to 100 if you really want to go there, but plus 425. I just think backs are getting it against Buffalo every time.
Oh, they're all getting there, yeah.
And I just think early on he's going to get featured early and often. Obviously, you worry about game script, but even still, I think he'll get some carries. The next alt I'm going to give is the Seattle-Atlanta game. Give me Drake London. I mean, this guy is just getting massive target share. Kirk Cousins loves him. He's 80 is plus 125, 90 plus 185, 100 plus 275. We just have seen Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, all these quarterbacks just dicing up the Seattle. I mean, even Daniel Jones dicing up the Seattle secondary. Yeah, I think Cousins at home with that play caller, Zach Robinson, Drake London with his target share, sign me up. And then
like they've been saying on Underdog Network, he's playing like that, like Cooper Kupp role for Zach Robinson. And I mean, we know how valuable that is. And by the way, Drake London was one of the alts that hit for us. Our alts were kind of rough last week, but obviously we made up for it had great primetime slates, very, very, very good primetime slates. And then of course hitting multiple parlays last week, but London was one that got home for us last week that was on the sheet. Sorry to go ahead and what's your next one? But I like the London alt.
So I'm going to give two more, one more normal and one a little crazy. But the more normal one, give me Deontay Johnson against the Washington secondary. Honestly, I think you can alt just about every player in this game.
Yeah.
And even guys like Terry McLaurin, who's not going to get a ton of targets. He's getting there now on deeper targets. Definitely has a more accurate quarterback than he's had in a while. And now they're really scheming him up. First couple weeks is just these like simple screens, couldn't get anything going. Now they're really finding ways to scheme him up, which I love. But on the other side, Deontay Johnson, he's getting a ton of targets from Andy Dalton. We saw last week, essentially everyone's getting there against Washington. I mean, Tyler's talked about it essentially every game. Like Rashard Bateman, all he is you hope for one deep ball. Well, against Washington, he was so wide open. He got like 6 targets. He was crushing. Mark Andrews, who's been essentially dead all season, crushed against Washington. And of course, Zay Flowers just absolutely smashed them. So, I think Deontay Johnson, his target share, 80 plus 135, 90, 200, 100, 290. I definitely do the 80, 90. And so the crazier one that I'm going to give out is simply, this is talent meeting opportunity, but just terrible quarterback play, and that is Tyreek Hill. Playing against the Colts, deep ball receivers have smashed them all year. I know we didn't get there last week with Calvin Ridley, and yes, that's the same concern here with Tyler Huntley, but I think Mike McDaniel will find some ways to scheme him up. Even a screen pass could
especially coming off a bye.
Yeah, coming off a bye, 70 yards plus 150, 80, 225. 90, 330, 400 if you really want to go there, plus 475. I mean, this is a guy probably, week 1 and 2 with Tua, 100 was maybe like 115, minus. So we're just getting, I don't know if I'm going to go to 90, but definitely 70 and 80. George Pickens with Justin Fields throwing, Brian Thomas with Trevor Lawrence and more. I think Lawrence can be a good quarterback. It's just that offense is terrible. I have no problem taking Tyreek Hill, but it's definitely a a riskier play, but
Yeah, no, it's definitely a riskier play, but it's also, like you said, talent meets
you're getting
opportunity
you're getting
against
paid
that
off.
Colts. Yeah, exactly. Tyler, before I go to you, let me say a quick hi to or answer questions in the chat. I know I've heard people in the DFS space, and we really aren't doing DFS shows really as much anymore. We're really focused on sports betting, Underdog Dailies. So, I'm happy to answer any DFS questions. Steve, I'll let you answer. I've heard people in the industry talk about is it Coker?
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it sounds like he's taking over the number 3 role from Mingo.
Yeah,
and
he's
Legette's
min
also a
price
little
on
banged up.
DK and 40, as he said, 4,200 on FanDuel. Would you play him at all?
Yeah, no, I think so. This is the right matchup. Legette's a little banged up. I think he's going to play. It sounds like, but you just have a situation where, yeah, he's probably going to get the third amount of targets on the team. And again, as I just said, everyone, likely had a big catch. Everyone was getting there last week, and that's what the quarterback who obviously runs. That's what Derrick Henry. Yes, Chuba Hubbard's going to get his, but Chuba Hubbard's not Derrick Henry. So, and likely much negative game script with Washington probably being ahead by a significant score. They're favored by 8. So Carolina could just be the entire second half could be throwing the ball. So yeah, Coker can absolutely get there.
I don't mind Jatavian Sanders either. And Washington may be the gift that keeps on giving with same game parlays that we might definitely have to run that back because it's just 2 bad defenses, and that's what we want certainly in the prop market. Jamie says Deontay's tied for 3rd in targets and leading in red zone targets. Yeah, he has been absolutely awesome, especially with Andy Dalton, and certainly has gained a ton of red zone targets. Probably needs some more positive regression in the touchdown space. Okay. Your turn, Tyler. Steve gave Pollard, London, Deontay Johnson, Tyreek Hill. What do you like in the Week 7 alts market this week?
I got 2 rushing ones this week. The first one, we're going to go to that Houston-Green Bay matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really, really high on Green Bay. I think they're one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah.
But this Houston team has tried to turn themselves into a power rushing team ever since Mixon's got there.
Yeah.
He's played 3 games this year. 2 of those games he cleared 100 yards. The other game he had 25 yards. That was the game he got banged up in.
Yeah.
This Green Bay defense sacrifices yards on the ground. They're going to want to respect Stroud in the passing game. Mm-hmm. You're looking at the Mixon alts here. You can get 70 at plus 125, 80 at plus 205, 90 at plus 330. And if he clears 100 again, it's 5-1. So I like taking a shot there. I think that game can go either way. Like if somebody's telling you they're confident on one side, like, yeah, I think Houston could win. You can give me arguments for it, but I think there's arguments for Green Bay too. So I think it's a coin flip game. If you get the right game script, I think he could run all over this defense. And the other
I love that call. Yeah.
Steve went to the game, the Miami game. I mean, that game's ugly, but the Colts defense is terrible.
So bad.
I like the Tyreek Hill call, but we gotta rely on Huntley a little bit there. Why not just have Huntley handed to A-Chain? I mean, you look at this Colts defense; they're giving up 28 attempts to running backs. 120 yards, about 4.4 yards per carry. Now A-Chain's had a week to get healthy. He's had a week to scheme up plays for A-Chain. And you look at his rushing yards, they are super low. They're right in the 40s. And you look at some of these alts on him. 50 plus is plus 120. 60 is plus 215. 70 is plus 340. 80 is 5-1. That's where it stops at. He could break one for 80 yards if they kick a touchback and he gets the first play from scrimmage in their game. So he can easily crush these yardage props. So A-Chain and Mixon for me this week.
I love that, Tyler. And I love both of you kind of attacking Dolphins coming off a bye against a terrible defense. I mean, it's just, if not now, when Tua comes back, likely. But I think it is a perfect spot off the bye that hopefully Huntley's gotten a little more familiar with the playbook to keep that offense moving. And we have 2 explosive guys that are just, chomping at the bit to, win another one off their win against Patriots and, put up some numbers because they haven't done that in a while. So I like both those calls, Tyler, Mixon, and A-Chain. I'll just add 2 more studs. I think there's plenty more, and they will all be on our Dub Club list on Saturday. But let's go to the obvious one of Justin. And these are bigger numbers, but these are guys that I think, could well soar past that. There are a couple just absolute games I love. Washington, Carolina being 1, 2 bad defenses. This isn't a case of 2 bad defenses, but it's a case of 2 offenses that I think are going to move the ball in the Lions and Vikings. I love that Lions-Vikings game, and I absolutely love the Vikings passing game because, as we know, Dallas let us down last week. You can't run on the Lions. You need to pass on them. So I see at home Justin Jefferson having a monster game. You do have to go up to 100, but honestly, you could ladder it and go 100, 120. I think he has a massive game against this Lions defense. We know that you can get him in the passing game. You know you have to get him in the passing game to stay live. And then the other one is that Seahawks-Falcons game. Steve talked about the Drake London side, which I absolutely love. His usage is amazing. First-rate targets being used essentially like Cooper Kupp. But what I like about that game is, hold on, I'm trying to find the line. I got distracted. Geno Smith is passing at the league's highest rate, their pass rate over expectation, his dropbacks highest, yards highest. So I actually like Geno, but give me Metcalf to just smash. He had absolute opportunity. He had that callback, called back. He would have been 120, 130 yards had that touchdown stood, and would have had a massive day in both the betting market, DFS market, everything. That gets called back. He ends up, 4 out of 11, 4 catches on like 10 or 11 targets, something. That they want to get that thing right. And you can against the Falcons defense. So I like 2 alphas, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf. You have to pay for it and, go to pretty high alts. But I also think these guys could absolutely obliterate their alts. And by the way, I do like Geno Smith. I think his attempts, kind of like Sam Howell last year. This sounds weird. I mean, he's ironically Sam Howell's his backup, but he's a better quarterback than Sam Howell. My point is, last year we just knew attack Sam Howell's attempts, attack Sam Howell's passing yards. He's going to drop back 40 plus times. He's going to drop back 40 plus times in this game. And against the Falcons, we have a chance for this game to be like the Seahawks Lions or the Falcons Bucks, just a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I definitely see a same game parlay that's going to be on the Dub Club sheet for that game, because that's got a lot to like. And again, that Lions Vikings, that Texans Packers, this Falcons Seahawks game is going to be really, really fun. And I love the passing game for Seattle there. Any final thoughts on alts, guys, before we move on to touchdowns?
Nope.
Jamie. Okay. Well, I love what you guys have. I feel like we're in lockstep here, kind of targeting the right spots, and I'm feeling good already. Jamie says JSN should be all right this week too versus D. Alford. Yeah, I absolutely think. I mean, I'm interested in that Seattle passing game. Yep, Geno is leading passing attempts and yards, I believe. So yeah, it's just, when you see those types of offenses, they usually that's pretty sticky by, through 6 weeks. Yeah. And then again, in a game like this, it's not like they're playing, a bad team. They're playing a team where they are likely going to have potentially be playing negative game script or just back and forth pushback. So love that. Tyler, I'll go to you first on this one. What are your favorite week 7 anytime touchdowns this week?
First one I'm going to start with, go to the Bengals-Browns. Give me T. Higgins again here. I mean, the Browns are just getting carved up by wide receivers. It could easily be Chase, but T. Higgins is getting close to the same work as Chase. You could bet both of them. I believe Chase is like plus 105, but I'll take the plus 170 on T. Higgins here. I think he finds the end zone. A couple other guys I like. I don't mind going to Evan Ingram here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, ton of red zone use. Don't hate Evan Ingram here. He's got a game under his belt again, back for Jacksonville. They have to throw the ball to somebody in the end zone. These guys keep dropping it. He's going to go to his safety blanket here. I could see Evan Ingram finding the end zone. And then I do like the JSN call because the defense they're playing runs more of a zone, and he can absolutely carve up the zone. He'll be in the open spots. I think he could find the end zone finally this year. I believe he's only found it once.
Right. No, I like that. So you got T. Higgins, Evan Ingram, JSN. I like that. Steve, what do you got in the anytime touchdown market?
So the first anytime touchdown, I'm going to go to the Sunday night game. Give me Devontae Adams.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Him
what's
and
his
Rodgers.
price?
Plus 160 I'm seeing on DraftKings.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to be that limited. I mean, dude's hamstring is totally fine. Let's be honest. It has been. And, I mean, he's Rodgers' roommate until he moves his family out to New York. I mean, they've just got the massive mind meld thing going on. I'm so excited to watch them play together again, just as a football fan. And I absolutely love that, to get that number on Devontae.
Yeah, we finally saw an offensive coordinator change affect the Jets. And Rodgers has gained his favorite receiver of all time to come back to them. They have the best red zone chemistry in Green Bay. They have massive number of like records per touchdowns per game and all this kind of stuff. Like and there's going to be, unlike Mari Cooper is going to have to learn Josh Allen. There's no learning curve here. Like Rodgers and Adams just know each other so perfectly. So give me that for plus 160.
Love it.
And the next thing, I'm going to do another narrative street, and actually, since it's juiced for 1 touchdown, I'm going to go for 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley against the Giants. We all saw the offseason Giants, Hard Knocks, where they basically trashed Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon's going to come out and smash this game. It's plus 350 for 2 touchdowns, but he's using the passing game, especially with no Goddard. That helps him. And I mean, it's minus 160 for the anytime. I'm definitely going to take that. But I want the 2 touchdowns. I'll probably do the first touchdown score plus 390 as well. Yeah. I just think, no tush push here. If they get near the goal line, I think they're giving Saquon the ball. And then the final touchdown prop, I'm going to give. I want to make a point. Tyler talked about Joe Mixon. His over. I also love his touchdown. It's minus 120, but we just see, I mean, he's used in the passing game, he's used in the running game. They love him, especially with no Nico. I think he's their biggest red zone threat right now. So like him there. But we're talking about this Seattle Atlanta game, and the running backs are juiced, both Bijan and Kenneth Walker. I'm going the receivers here. London and Metcalf, both plus 120.
Damn it, you stole mine.
Both plus 120. I just love them there. And then the final one in the Washington game, you can get Austin Eckler right now plus 115. And, we don't know if Brian Robinson's fully back, but we're just seeing multiple running backs. Look at Atlanta last week. Both Algier and Bijan got there. They had 3 combined touchdowns. We've seen other, Moss and Chase Brown against them. Like, we've just seen backs really smash Carolina. I mean, everyone's smashing Carolina's defense. So the fact that you can get Eckler plus 115, he's going to get some pass attempts. Brian Robinson might not get his full workload coming off the injury and potentially a large lead. So I like Eckler at the plus 115 right now.
Yeah, I was on a show this morning and I said, I think we could see the air guitar again. We've only seen it once this year. I think I could see him getting in this week because, like we said, against the Panthers, kind of everybody gets there. And so even if Brian Robinson, I don't see them overloading Brian Robinson's workload. And like the Eckler call. I mean, I like all your guys' calls, so you guys kind of hogged the good ones. No, I'm kidding. You guys took a lot of the good ones. And then a lot of the other guys I liked, like Pollard or Jefferson or some of these other running backs are juiced a lot. Another one I'll throw out is what you guys mentioned about the Dolphins, whether you want to approach it through Achane or Hill. Hill is plus 190. He almost scored 2 weeks ago before the bye. He was just out. And I want to say he was targeted in the red zone, and Huntley missed him in that was a Monday night against that disaster Titans game. That game was awful. But I watched the one on red zone where he was just like barely out because I had him because, again, he was like the best odds you'll ever get Tyreek Hill for a touchdown. So kind of same vein, same thought process, coming off a bye, a defense you can attack. Plus 190 for Tyreek Hill. We're never going to see this price again once Tua comes back. So I'll go Tyreek Hill there. But I mean, I love everything we mentioned. There is a question in chat. I'll let both you guys answer this. I don't have a problem. I'm not concerned because, again, Devontae and Aaron Rodgers just kind of have a mind meld, like just absolutely mind read each other. And I really, no matchup really frightens me. But do you think DJ Reed and Sauce will limit Adams this week? Wait, DJ Reed is
they're both Jets.
It's like a trick question or something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I was, once I read it, I was like, okay, wait, I knew Sauce is the New York Jets. So Jamie, if you have any clarification, happy to answer any questions. Always happy to answer your questions, and always appreciate you jumping in chat. So yeah, Tyreek is due, and as a guy like that doesn't stay quiet for too long. So, So anyways, okay, so that's our alts. That's anytime touchdowns. Now each of you, the sun, sorry, I will get this window fixed at some point. It just didn't get fixed this week. I apologize. So, it's brutal. Anyways, before we get to building a second winning Thursday night slip in a row, give me a favorite parlay. Tyler, what do you got for me? It can be anything. It could be touchdowns. It could be alts. It could be a same game. What do you like?
Yeah, I just went and built a little same game in the Houston Green Bay game. These three-leggers are treating me well, so we're going to go Joe Mixon over 64.5 rushing yards,
Nice.
Jaden Reed over 58.5 receiving, and Jordan Love over 248 passing.
I like that
And
a
that
lot.
gets you right around 4-1.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I do like sticking in that, three leg, which is what our show parlay will obviously be today. For top, that definitely feels like my sweet spot too. But I like that, and I like attacking that game. All right, Steve, what do you got for same game parlay?
So I'm going to do a 3-leg myself. I'm going to go to, we all talked about this game, the Seattle-Atlanta game.
Mm-hmm.
And, I do like the running backs. So I'm going to go, but I'm going to start with Geno Smith, plus 275. You can get plus odds on that. Drake London, 80 plus receiving. You can get plus odds on that. And then I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker, rushing, receiving, plus 100. I know it's a little high, but I think this Atlanta defense has some holes. And I think he's such an explosive player in all the opportunities. Last week he was very limited on the ground against San Francisco, but they do want to run the ball more. This is a game they'll be able to run up the ball a little bit more. Not afraid of Geno's passing, but that's a 3-leg on DraftKings. If you do Geno 275, London 80 receiving, and then Kenneth Walker 100 plus rushing, receiving, it's plus 750. I like that a lot.
I like that a lot, and I like that both of you attacked these same game parlays, and we will likely do so on Dub Club for the London game, for some of these games that offer a lot. I am obsessed with these alpha receivers this week, and I've got a little 80, 100, 120 special for you. So this is a lotto. You guys built some nice, solid parlays that are probably much more realistic to hit than this. But this is a fun lotto to root on, because you're rooting for 3 alpha receivers, 2 coming off a bye, and all in potentially good spots. So 80 plus receiving yards, Tyreek Hill, 100 plus receiving yards, DK Metcalf, would have gotten there last week if not for that call. 120 yards, Justin Jefferson. They're each about 200 to 300 plus each of them individually. Together, that gets you almost 43 to 1. I know it's a lotto, but it's a fun one. So I just love these receivers this week. I'm absolutely obsessed. All right, we got our guy Spread in the chat. Spread, we're talking how much we love Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, so close your ears. He's the Aaron Rodgers hater. But no, good to see you in chat, Spread. And then we got our guy Mike. Always good to see you in chat. I'm bringing the heat. Yeah, that one I'm even bringing the heat. I admit it's a lotto, so bet accordingly on that. He can't handle. Spread. If you looked at the Jets' schedule, it's there's some winnable games. It's a pretty winnable schedule. I'm going to go ahead and lay the prediction that you're going to be watching old A-Rod and Devontae if all stay healthy in January. So, but we'll see. Let's just enjoy Sunday night. I'm excited for that. Have to ask you, Tyler, as the resident Steelers fan, how do you see Sunday night playing out in Pittsburgh? Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
I'm muted. But yeah, the Jets are going to put a beating on us. I wish it was still Fields starting. I'd put a lot more money on the Steelers if it was Fields, because he can't throw to the middle of the field. So where was he going to throw at? Sauce and DJ Reed? We weren't going to be able to throw the ball if it was Fields. So I think that's why they went to Russ early. They see what's going to happen, and they don't want to bench Fields mid-game. But I'm not sure Russ is going to be able to do anything against his defense either. Our starting center's out. The Quinn Williams is going to blow up the line. They can't really run the ball. I don't care what they did against the Raiders last week. The Raiders are the trash team of the league right now. So, I think the Jets just kind of whoop us. Our secondary can't cover either. Now there's 2 wide receivers to cover. It's going to get ugly.
he said, is Reed playing for, again, that's on the Jets side, right?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't
I
heard
don't think
I
he
anything.
didn't
got
see any
banged up.
injuries with him.
I don't think A-Rod's going to die this week. Hope not. I'm really excited to see him and Devontae again. Again, as a football fan, that is just so exciting. He meant Joey Porter. I assume Joey Porter. I don't know anything about his.
Joey Porter covered Devontae Adams last year when he was on the Raiders. Any guesses
Okay.
on what Devontae Adams did in that game?
Like 170.
Yeah.
He smashed.
Yeah, I knew he smashed in the Steelers game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely crushed us that game. So Joey Porter's coverage means nothing to Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think they're going to pick right up where they left off. So it'll be fun. Again, it's just fun to watch as a football fan. Anyways, okay. Enough of alts and touchdowns and parlays. That was fun. Again, our favorites will be in Dub Club. Subscribe for a free week at the link at the bottom, or go to the homepage and click the link there for a free week. Also, check out their NFL betting card for free on fanspeak.com. Okay, now, guys, we're on a winning streak here. It's a 1 week winning streak. Let's make it 2. But first, let's talk about Thursday Night Football. We got an ugly one tonight. Broncos, Saints. Injury report is littered. There's literally no starting receivers for the Saints. It's rough out there. So obviously there's other injuries too. It's not just the skill position players. So it's a rough one out there. The cool thing is the lines for everybody are low. So that kind of makes it interesting. I'll go to you first, Tyler. How do you see this game going? Who wins? And then we'll kind of build things out from there.
I lean Denver with the Saints not having any weapons, but they have a very good play caller with the Kubiak guy. He's made this offense look good. I mean, they were still able to get to 27 last week when Olave went down early. He didn't play all that much. He was throwing to these guys all last game. But Denver's defense is just so much better than what Tampa Bay was putting out on that field, even with Surtain out. So I think Denver wins. I think it's an ugly game. Like, they teased us with a couple good Thursday games leading up to this, and now we're right back in purgatory for the Thursday night games. I think the only thing I really like in this game would be like a Juwan Johnson over 26.5 receiving yards.
Oh, I love
He threw the
Juwan
ball
Johnson
a lot last game. Now he's probably going to be his de facto one. And Broncos are giving up 45 yards a game to tight ends. And they're getting a 26.5 on Juwan Johnson. I'll take a shot on that.
Shred makes a good point. We love the Rat. No, you've been a proponent on Rattler. Do you like his passing props? It's low. I mean, it's way lower than he threw for. And we're missing Surtain on Denver.
But I think it has something to do with the people he's throwing.
They have no. Yeah, I was gonna say his options to throw the ball to are pretty limited. Yeah.
Yeah, like he should clear 183, but it's just like I don't want to rely on Bub Means, Mason Tippin, Cedric Wilson to come down with passes.
Yeah, that's why I'm with you. I love Juwan Johnson tonight. All right, Steve, how do you see tonight going?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's likely to be a fairly easy Denver win. I mean, I know it's only -2.5 because it's in New Orleans, but Sean Payton coming home, it's Saints are missing their starting quarterback, half their starting offensive line, both starting receivers. It's just not good, and sure, Denver's missing Surtain, but I'd feel better if they had Shaheed and Olave to exploit that. And Nix is just more experienced. Nix has looked solid. Denver's defense has been good. Surtain's a big part of that, but not the only reason. They're getting a lot of pressure. The Saints O-line is just severely banged up, and you have a rookie quarterback, Rattler. Rattler, I think, took 5 sacks last week. I think Denver is going to have a good game plan here, but I agree it's probably going to be ugly. I don't mind the under. It's only 37.5. Definitely probably will typically alt it up a little bit, but I look for the under in this game, and I think it's going to be fairly ugly, but Denver win probably by 6 points, a touchdown, something like that.
I mean, FanDuel used to do a special no touchdown scored. I don't even see that. Do they know that that's a legitimate possibility tonight? I don't know. Yeah. Usually, I could have sworn that was like a crazy odds, like FanDuel specials. Have you ever seen that, Tyler? I know you look at the specials.
Yeah, sometimes they're listed up there, but I think we're getting some points in this game,
Okay. Do you like the over or do
even
you
with all the ugly skill players.
Okay.
I lean slightly to the over.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind. I've done a couple of parlays
I don't
where
think
go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say I don't think I get there to play it, but 37.5 seems low.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
think Denver
Yeah.
can get their running game going. The Saints defense is kind of banged up too. So if Denver gets
Yeah.
their game going and Rattler's throwing the ball, we could see some points in this game.
Yeah, yeah, and you can run on the Saints too, as Hunt showed last week.
Yep.
All right, first touchdowns, and then we'll try to run it back here with the same game parlay. Tyler, go to you first. Who gets in the end zone first tonight?
All right, give me 1 second. We got to find him on this list. Where is he at? All right. I'm probably going to butcher this name.
Oh,
But
I'm trying to guess who you're doing.
The
Oh, I
third
think
string running back for Denver,
estimate.
Audric
Uh-huh.
Estime. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They,
I like
there's
that
some
call.
talks he's supposed to get a lot more work. Javante's looked bad. Julian McLaughlin's a receiving back. He's not running in between the tackles. 20 to 1 on Estime. I'll take a shot on that.
Yeah, no, I like that. Steve and I were talking about that, about making like on the sheet Javante as official play, and Steve was like, I wouldn't do that because we don't know. You can run on the Saints, but we don't know what the workload division. Now, I put it in a couple parlays because I could see multiple Denver running backs potentially getting there, Estime and Javante potentially, because their lines are so low. But I like that as a long shot for a touchdown. Like that a lot. So, Steve, who do you see getting in the end zone first tonight?
It is tough. Obviously, Alvin Kamara is the most likely, but I'm going to go Bo Nix. He's gotten 3 rushing touchdowns already this year. I think in this type of game, they're not afraid to use him in the red zone. Maybe that changes with Estime. I do like the Estime call, but Bo Nix, they've definitely shown a lot of red zone usage with him. And
I believe he has 4 rushing touchdowns already.
He's got 3 or 4 for sure, and at least 3, maybe 4. And I just think he's shown enough to be in charge of this offense. And like I said, they use him in and around the goal line a fair bit.
Yeah, I like that. You left it. I mean, for some reason, FanDuel is not seeing my location. That's always a fun time because I wanted to be able to do our parlay, obviously. But you guys left me mine, and I already had bet it, and that's Juwan Johnson. He's also very high owned. If I want to be total bullish on my best ball shares, I have a lot of exposure to Juwan Johnson, so I could use him taking advantage of tonight, both just racking up some catches and yards. But hey, let's get in the end zone, and if you get in the end zone first, you get Juwan Johnson at, where is it? 18 to 1. So he's plus 440 to score, 18 to 1 to get in the end zone first. So we got Juwan Johnson 18 to 1. You got Bo Nix 9 to 1, and you have Audric Estime 20 to 1. So I think those are some fun ones. All right, guys, now it's time to run it back for the second in a row Thursday night show same game parlay. We hit it last week on an 8 to 1. It was super fun. So let's do it again. Tyler, I'll let you go first. What do you like for tonight?
I'm just going to stick to that Juwan Johnson prop. Give me over 28.5 receiving yards I see on FanDuel.
I like that. Let me get to that. Receiving, yeah, I'm on FanDuel too, so that helps. Let me get to receiving, Juwan Johnson. All right, Steve, what is your favorite leg?
So mine, I'm going to go something that correlates with that, and that's Spencer Rattler's. Give me his, let me look at where it's on FanDuel, but plus 200, plus 136. I think it might be a little better on DraftKings.
You get plus 136 for 200 plus passing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. And because I do think they'll be in a negative game script and have to throw the ball a bit more.
Okay. I was debating about Javante earlier, but again, I just don't try. I mean, I think he could easily get over 44.5. I don't even see a line for Estime yet. Is he have a line yet on DraftKings yet?
Let me look.
Not sure, but you know who I
don't
like.
see a line for him anywhere.
Yeah, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if they release one later. I like both quarterbacks' legs in this one. I like both quarterbacks to run. Bo Nix is I was doing research on the game earlier, and I forget where he ranks, but he ranks very high in quarterback rushing this year, including 3 touchdowns. But just on the ground, I think he has like 180 yards on the ground or something like that. So Bo Nix over 27.5 rushing yards. So so you got Juwan Johnson. The two of them do correlate. Juwan Johnson, Spencer Rattler. Juwan Johnson over 28.5 receiving. That line's been moving up, so we're obviously on what the public likes, which makes a ton of sense for Juwan Johnson being a main target. Spencer Rattler, 200 plus passing yards, and Bo Nix over 27.5 rushing yards. You get that 5-1 plus 524 on FanDuel. I will tweet this out. I will put it in Dub Club. Hopefully you all can tell and win with us just like we won last week. And I will say I might split up and add like an alt under. Not the under is, as Tyler said, low. But if you add an alt, I'm just giving you an example of what I did to one earlier. I think I added either 40.5 or 41.5. But if you add let's just do 40, unless there's a particular number you guys are interested in. If you add at plus 524 for those 3 lines and add in, plus 41.5, you double it. So it goes from essentially 5-1 to 10-1. So I do like doing that with some props, especially in a game where you do like the under. So, but yeah, no, that is our same game parlay. And again, it'll be tweeted and on Dub Club. Hopefully you get a second win in a row. Yeah, I said that too, Jamie. I think there will be points, but it's hard to tell where and who, that's for sure. But yeah, hopefully we get a good game tonight. Let's get some final thoughts from you guys. Steve, final thoughts for tonight and week 7.
Yeah, so I think as we talked about tonight, it's probably going to be a little sloppy with all the skill guys missing, 2 rookie quarterbacks. There are some defensive holes on both teams, but we'll see how exploitable they can be given the offensive situations. But I do think Denver wins. And for the rest of this week, I think it could be a fun London game, especially it sounds like we were talking pre-show, Drake May, it sounds like he's good to go. I like him against that Jags D. Mm-hmm. I just think as we talked about some of the key games this week, the Washington game, the Seattle game, Minnesota Lions game, there's going to be points scored in those games, and let's target those games and those teams. The Green Bay game's another one, Green Bay Houston. So yeah, those are the ones I'm really focusing in on this week.
Yeah, they're, like you said, you named them. Those 4 games are fun, and that's probably where a lot of these props at anytime touchdowns and parlays will come from. And hopefully we can get another Washington, or like similar to the Washington-Baltimore one, another SGP. Hopefully multiple stuff. But again, check that out on Dub Club, free week, and check out the link. Their free betting card, free Dub Club link, all on fanspeak.com homepage. Tyler, final thoughts for tonight or week 7?
Yeah, final thoughts for tonight. Don't expect much action in this game. Maybe we get some points. Maybe it's just a boring Thursday night. But Sunday, 1 o'clock slate, there's going to be some fun ones. Focus on those 4 games, like Steve said. Those will be the main 4 games of the slate. But don't forget about the other ones, too. There's going to be some easy spots in those ones. We'll probably identify them and have them on the sheet for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you guys both said it perfectly. This is always fun talking this through with you guys. And then I do like a ton more research Friday and lock everything in Saturday. And I can't wait. So be sure to stay tuned on Twitter, on Dub Club. We appreciate you joining us. For Steve, for Tyler, I'm Meg. Good luck in week 7, and we'll see you next time.